Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Podcast Daily. We are in Indianapolis for Big Ten Media Days, and somehow it is the fifth one that Ohio State coach Ryan Day has been a part of. Does that sound right to you? 5?
Man, it goes fast, huh? It's unbelievable.
Do they get more fun, or are they more tedious the longer you have to keep coming over and answer questions?
You learn a little bit more every year, what to expect. That's probably the biggest thing.
Do you think that you've perfected coach speak by this point, or do you still I only say that because I feel like you make a genuine effort more than other coaches, and I don't know how you wouldn't compare that, but it does get old getting the same questions over and over.
Yeah, well, growing up in the town that I grew up in, my stepfather actually was a sports editor, and I just have so much respect for everything that so many people do here. And when you ask a question, you like to get an answer. And sometimes you have to be smart about what you say, and I feel like after it's all said and done at Ohio State, I probably could end up becoming a politician because there's so much that comes with it and the way you handle things. But also, I just respect all the work that everybody does. And someone asks a question, they put time into that. They didn't just ask that. They probably woke up and thought through how they're going to ask that question. And so it's just, to me, it's just respect. And sometimes I can't answer, or for reasons that at the time you can't really talk about. You want to keep it under your vest, but. I try to do the best I can to give them something because, everyone's just doing their job.
That's right. How was the summer?
It was good. It was good. A little different than the past couple of years. Got away, went out west. We ended up selling our place back east, and so RJ's going to be a freshman, so he's got a lot of football going on in the summer. So we couldn't do as much as we usually do, but it was nice because we spent a couple weeks just in Columbus. It was around the team a lot more than I had been in the summer. Was able to be at most of the workouts with Mick and that was nice too, just not very often do we do just nothing, and so we go in for a few hours, see the team, get around the guys, have lunch with them, spend time with them, and then get to spend some time with the family, in Columbus, which is not something we've done as much in the past.
What was the best thing that you ate or drank this
summer?
So you thought this was just going to be football.
No, this is good.
This
is good. Now you got me excited. Yeah, so eating, out in Jackson Hole where we were, on the Snake River, they have trout. It's cutthroat trout, and I had never had it before, and it almost tastes like salmon, but it's really, really good. And so I ordered that a couple times. That was probably the best thing I ate. The best thing I drank.
$1 Million Cowboy Saloon, perhaps?
We did go in there. Okay. We took some pictures in there.
Because we're in my territory now, Wyoming.
It's unbelievable.
So
yeah, it was a blast. Best thing I drank, I'll save that for another day.
Okay, yeah, you can for sure. Okay. I'm on the outside. I can't get into your brain, but it feels like this summer compared to last summer, whether this is you being in Columbus or your vacation time or whatever, being at camps in June, you feel like you are more comfortable, relaxed, at ease with what you're doing right now. And some of this, I think, was because there was so much uncertainty about college football a year ago. But do you feel that way with the family in the Woody, wherever? Do you think that last year compared to this year is different? And I'm right about that.
Yeah, I mean, you're very perceptive, and I do, and I think the reason why is because of our team, the type of guys that we have. You know who we have, the leadership, the maturity. I call it like social sophistication, the ability to have conversations with people, just look them in the eye, the way they handle themselves, the way they're working right now. Coming off of last year, just how determined they are. The experience that we have on defense, the staff that we have, in year 2 on defense. We haven't really had as much experience in this good of a defense, I think, since 2019 because of, some of the turnover and things that we had. COVID didn't help, and then it kind of hurt. It took a little bit of a step back in recruiting, but like when you think about the guys we have back and some of the pieces we've added this year, feel like you put your head down on the pillow and sleep and get some rest, and then you got a lot of work to do the next day. But also knowing that the season didn't end well last year. But I think it has to do with our staff. I think it has to do with our team, and there's just a level of confidence that we're going to go into this season with, knowing that we put a great off season in and we have a bunch of experience and. We can't wait for that first game to happen.
I think there's a lot of people who expect that you would feel even more stressed this year because of those last 2 games, because of dealing with everything else that's involved in college football, and I don't get that sense from you. And we don't have to rehash all of that, but you don't seem to be feeling the pressure now that you did a year ago, or focusing on result. And
Well,
I don't know if that's fair.
No, I know what you're saying. The pressure's there every year. And when you look at our team and the fact that we've been to the CFP 3 of the last 4 years, and the culture that we have in our program, the way we're recruiting, like there's just a lot of trends going in the right direction. If we make the field goal at the end of the Georgia game and finish that, we're sitting here.
What would we be talking about then? Gosh.
Exactly. And so the focus has to be on the process, and we gave up too many explosive plays last year. We didn't play great in the second half of that game. We could talk for hours about how that happened. But if
you catch yourself doing that
all the time, constantly, and so, but then you look at your team, you look at the way your staff is, the way you look at your recruiting, the way you look at your team interacts and everything like that. And it's like, you'd be stressed if things weren't in order that way. Now we got to go do it. We got to go put it on the field. But there's a certain level of confidence that we played with going into that Georgia game that we're going to continue as we open up the season against Indiana.
So if you're in Jackson, you're with Nina and the kids, how much are you ever able to turn off thinking about the roster, thinking about the Peach Bowl? Maybe you can't. I don't know. What's the balance?
Well, because this year we just took a 2-week window, and June was all about recruiting, and we just hammered it in recruiting and killed it with the workouts. I mean, that June was a bear, but we had some fun doing it. But at the same time, I said this 2 weeks I'm just going to lock in. When I get back, I'm going to have 2.5 more weeks before the season starts where I can really dive back into the team. And so, and by the way, the team was away that second week, so they had that week off too. Mm-hmm. So, you're always thinking about it. And even in Jackson, even in Big Sky, even in some of those places, there's Buckeyes everywhere, so you can't get away from it. But it was a good, kind of unplug and a chance to recharge the family.
Was there some new music to listen to? Anything new in the headphones or with the family to listen to?
Yeah, we were listening to some different things.
Oh,
the kids are into Zach Bryan, and they like Morgan Wallen. My daughter loves that. They're looking forward to that show in Ohio Stadium. They're going to be going to that. And we went to a rodeo. That was fun.
In Jackson?
In Jackson.
Cody Rodeo's even better.
Okay, well, we got to go there. But
CNFR's in Casper, my hometown. That's the college football playoff of rodeos.
Okay, well, maybe you can host me there.
Yeah.
But it was great. I mean, even at that rodeo, they announced the different states that are there, and Ohio represented. They gave the OH and they gave the IO, and it was great.
That was your first rodeo experience?
Second.
You got some boots, right?
The guys from Rocky Boots gave me some boots, and so I was ready to roll.
All right. Are you excited to get? You have another hour with the media, so you're going to get all the questions about the backup quarterbacks. Are you ready for that opportunity today? I mean, that's how you got to look at it, right? Go to war with us.
Well, and you just talk about your team, and you talk about where we're going and the new journey, and man, just think about our team. I set it up there, just our whole team is this way. But you look at Marvin, Cade, and JT, 3 completely different backgrounds, but they're all here together today in the same team. Well, I could name Hero from Germany and Jesse from Australia, and I mean everyone has their own backgrounds, just different demographics, but they're all together on the same team. It just really makes for a really cool environment, and it's a great group to be around.
Whose shoe game is better, yours or Marvin's?
Oh, Marv. I mean, he had these ones on today. Kate and I didn't even know what they were heard of. They're probably worth more than my car or something. This guy, he's into fashion now. He loves his fashion. I mean, I like shoes. Don't get me wrong, but he's got it to a whole nother level.
You're pretty basic. You're just going to give you the Air Maxes move.
Yeah, that's it. Right? That's it. Well, yeah. I mean, I try to up it a little bit, but not like this guy. Yeah, he's into it. I'll let Nina do all the bougie kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I don't mean to understand. Anyway, we appreciate stealing a couple minutes away from Ohio State coach Ryan Day, his 5th appearance here, and gracious enough to give us some time on the podcast. Ryan, thank you very much.
Yeah, brother.